Hello, SGDragons fans, as we welcome you to a nice evening of baseball. Varsity starting here a little later than usual. I've had about a 6:30 start. I think we're past that. It's already at 6:41 and getting ready to start conference tournament. What do you call a semi-final game against the Farmington Knights? The Dragons come in with a record of 10-12. The Knights come in with a record of 9-13. They have played each other. They played each other in their conference play in the regular season. The Dragons came on top of that one, 4-3. We'll run through some other teams that they have played in. But I'm Rob Coleman, and I have Mr. Denny Drum next to me. How are we doing tonight, Denny?
Doing real well. Beautiful evening here at the ballpark. Getting ready to get going here.
Yeah, couldn't ask for better weather. Going to probably get a little chilly for us, but definitely not cold. But as soon as that sun goes down, the breeze might be a little chilly. But like you said, it's beautiful.
Yes, it is. This ballpark's beautiful also.
Yeah,
tip-top shape.
Yeah, the grass is really done well, I think, almost. I mean, you could tell the difference, but as far as how green and great that outfield is, it's really starting to blend in with the green of the turf.
Right. It's just a wonderful place to play ball.
I see that the score board back there is still not working, but again, we did notice that it's up there. Have to get electric to it, so I don't know if that'll be something they'll get done this year. So still have the little scoreboard over to the left, but if you're at home, obviously you can see the score. You won't be able to see the inning, but you can see the score on your screen. So I know as soon as that gets going, that'll also add to the atmosphere.
Yep. Looks like both teams have similar records. St. Jen's 10-12. I believe Farmington is
9-13.
So I expect a good ball game. St. Jen won the first game between these two teams, so should be a pretty spirited contest tonight.
Yeah, the Knights were 3-2 in conference, and I believe the Dragons were 2-3, vice versa. So I agree, it should be a good game, and hopefully the Dragons will come out on top. We're going to start. The Dragons are the visiting team, so obviously it doesn't really matter on the score that you'll see on your picture, but as far as when they're batting, so the Dragons will bat first. Looks like they'll start off with the freshman, number 42, Derek Morgenthaler, and Derek will be playing left field.
Yep, Derek comes into the game hitting .424, so he's the leading hitter other than Jake Brewster, who's at .429, but a very small sample size for Jake. So
on the mound for the Knights, we have number 3, Busenbark. I believe he pitched the first game against us, and he's got the count to 1-1 to Morgenthaler. Morgenthaler has moved to this leadoff spot really in the last 2 weeks, as Wyatt Lometer used to be in that spot and made some shuffling around in the lineup, and so Morgenthaler's only got about 3, 4, maybe 5 games on his belt as a leadoff spot, as he has a ground ball. That's going to be a big hop to second, an easy play for the second baseman, and that's the first out of the inning.
So we got this thing underway.
Coming in to bat second for the Dragons, number 1, Waylon Kemper. And Kemper is the third baseman for the Dragons.
Waylon's hitting .224 on the year with 9 RBIs and 7 runs scored.
And here's the pitch, a little breaking ball for ball 1. Busenbark winds and throws. And there's a little foul ball off to the right side. That's going to go into the foul territory. And we have a count to 1-1. And there's a swing and a miss by Kemper as he puts a good cut on that one. Bullpen. I couldn't think of the word where that ball went to. Bullpen. That's what came to mind now.
I was waiting for it.
You got to pick me up on it.
I should have handled that. I knew what it was.
I drew a blank as there's a ball. Evens the count to 2-2.
A little out of practice. Yeah. Sorry about that. Let you out there hanging.
Wouldn't be a broadcast if I didn't screw up. And there's a foul ball back behind us. Keeps the count 2-2. for Waylon Kemper.
Busenbark's throwing strikes early on.
Kemper does have 15 hits on the season, 67 at bats. And he hits that curveball, yep, right above the shortstop's head for a base hit. Nice job to keep his hands back and take that curveball right up the middle. So with one out here, the Dragons do have a runner on first, and in steps number 25, Wyatt Lominier, and Wyatt is pitching today.
Wyatt comes in the game hitting .338. He's got 12 RBIs and 23 runs scored, so maybe we can get on this guy in the first inning here.
This is one of the reasons why he moved Lominier down. He's able to hit the ball in really big situations, runners on base, so instead of batting the leadoff, he moves him down to the third spot, and he looks at ball one outside.
Wyatt's been up to bat 87 times this year so far.
They check on Kemper over at first. He's back safely.
He's got 23 hits out of those 87 appearances.
And there's a ground ball to short. This could be two. They turn to the second baseman, and not going to get Lominier with that speed.
No.
So a fielder's choice, and Lominier will be at first as Kemper was thrown out at second.
Catcher, number 9, Dalton Giesler.
In steps number 9, Dalton Giesler. He's catching tonight.
Comes into the game hitting .324, 11 RBIs, 6 runs scored. Looks like he's got the only home run on the year for the team.
I remember that, and that was a pretty good shot.
I think I was there. Was that against North County?
I believe so. Oh, he's got one against Park Hills? Oh. He's got 2 on the year?
Nope.
Oh, I thought that was here. I thought I remember him hitting a home run. Sounded good, right?
That's right.
Here's the pitch. There's a ball outside.
Winner of this game will go on to play Valley at probably, I'm going to guess, 6:30, between 6:30 and 7 after the third place game.
Yep, that'll be the championship game.
Central will play the loser of that game.
And there's ball 2. That was a pretty close pitch, maybe a little low. And those games are here?
I believe so.
Those games are here. Hopefully we get to bring you the championship game. There's a ball high. 3-0 on Giesler. Probably be taking here. Busenbark gets the sign. Checks the Lominier at first. He's going to throw over. He's back safely.
A little closer that time. Means he's got a good lead. He might be going.
Over at first is Tomier for the Knights. There's the pitch, and there's strike 1. Bat never left Giesler's shoulder, so obviously he was going to take. Now the count, it's 3-1. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Here's the pitch. Not able to pull the trigger, and that's a ball. Pretty close from my angle, but maybe a little outside. We'll take it.
Yep.
Giesler trots down to first. Now the Dragons have first and second here with 2 outs. And coming to bat is number 29, Drew Toombs. And Drew is doing the DHing today he's batting for Camden Rowe, who is in right field.
Comes in the game hitting .258 with 13 ribbies and 10 runs scored. Like to see him push that RBI total to 14 or more here. Base hit would do it, I would think.
Good speed at Lominier at second. Chad Dunsey goes in to run for Dalton Giesler at first, as Giesler's the catcher, so able to have a pinch runner. Busenbark comes set, checks on Lominier, comes home, and Toombs grounds that one hard to third.
Ooh.
Third baseman kind of didn't play it well, but enough to make the play and touch third base for the third out of the inning.
Yep.
So
ball was hit hard.
The Dragons go in the first inning. They get 1 walk, 1 hit, and no runs. For the Knights, starting off for the Knights will be number 4, Castro, number 11, Kraus, and the pitcher, number 3, So the Dragons are coming off a big win against North County in this conference. 2 wins in a row there in the conference tournament, their pool play. They were able to beat the Kingston Cougars and then played North County Raiders, in which North County, it was a close game the first time they played them, but really pulled away and beat them in regular conference play. And the Dragons are able to return the favor and beat them in the conference tournament pool play.
Wyatt Lomlandier will be pitching tonight. He's warming up. He comes into the game with a 1-3 record. He's got 19 innings pitched, ERA of 5.15. His walk to strikeout ratio is not where I'm sure he would like it to be. 26 walks and 19 strikeouts. So
yeah, that's why it's, you know, a lot of it's been up in the zone. That's why it's been kind of why it's issue so far this year. I've seen, you know, I think he's gotten better, you know, I mean, as the season's gone on, but still not exactly where he wants to be. And if he can get his pitches, I think, lower, you know, he's definitely got the speed and a way and the ability to make some changes in some curveballs or changeups. Do have some other games going on today in the conference tournament. Potosi is taking on Fredericktown. North County is AV. West County against Valley Caledonia, and Kingston against Bismarck. If we're able to find any of those scores, we definitely will let you know how those went or are going. So in steps number 4, Castro for the Knights. Here's the pitch from Lomlandier, and it's ball 1 outside. The 1-0 pitch, and there's ball 2. A little bit low, I think. From our angle, it's kind of tough to really see the strike zone. So there's a strike from Lomlandier. Brings the count to 2-1. As I hear an LGB, the Blues are getting ready to start. As there's ball 3. So I'm sure if you're at home, you're probably got the Blues game on the TV and us on the internet, right?
I'm taping the game, so
taping
hopefully, hopefully nobody will ruin
I can't
the score
talk about
for
it?
me. No, you can't. you can only think about it.
Okay, well, I'll do my best. Yeah, if I start, make sure you just hit me. I might forget, but I'll
knock
do my
you
best.
off your chair.
Oh, there's
boy, that
ball
was
4.
close.
Yeah, look close from here. So Castro will start off with a walk here in the bottom of the first inning. Well, you just took about half my stuff to talk about. Away.
As I mentioned earlier, walks seem to be a problem. He
Yeah.
starts this game off with a walk. That's never a good sign.
No, you know, once you get a walk, then you get a maybe a dink base hit or an error. You know, something just seems to not go your way once you get that leadoff walk on.
Yeah, those guys have a tendency to come around and score on you, but also sets up a chance for a double play.
Sure, Castro's got some speed batting in the leadoff position, and this is number 11, Kraus. And there goes Castro. Dalton Giesler makes the throw. It's there in time, and he got him. Yep. Nice job by Dalton Giesler. Put a perfect shot on that one for the first out here in the bottom of the first.
Nice quick release by Dalton. Didn't waste any motion or energy, just popped up and threw it down there.
So that takes away the walk from Lomlandier. Now we have 1 out with no on, and Kraus fouls that one back to even the count to 1-1. Get a little momentum going the Dragons' way with that play from Giesler. And there's another foul back from Kraus. Again, we have Kemper over at third base. Henson, who is being DH'd for at shortstop. Staffen over at second. Daniel Vaith at first. Giesler behind the plate, and there's a ball inside. Out in the outfield, we have Derek Morgenthaler out in left. I believe that's Brady Boyer out in center, and Camden Rowe, I said Henson was being DH'd for. That's wrong. Camden Rowe is being DH'd for. As Kraus swings through that one, Giesler's going to throw it down just to make sure. Might have hit the ground for the second out of the inning. So there's a strikeout from White Lombardier on Kraus.
Pitcher, number 3, Grant Busenbark.
In steps number 3, the pitcher Busenbark, and he swings at the first pitch. A little ground ball to Henson, throws across the diamond for the third out of the inning. So unconventional 1-2-3 inning as we started off with a walk, but then he was thrown out at second by Dalton Giesler, and then with a strikeout from Kraus and a ground ball to the shortstop by Busenbark, the Knights go with 1 walk, no hits, no runs.
I'm going to say for the next 15, 20 minutes, it's really a tough field for the right side of the infield, and your right fielder with that sun setting makes for some tough vision.
It does, and so hopefully we can take advantage of it here. What do you say? We just stay here for 15 minutes, just keep
everything
hitting it to the right,
side.
Yep. And then when the sun finally goes down, we'll go back to the field.
After we score 4 or 5.
Looks like for the Dragons, we will have Brady Boyer will start off the inning, followed by Daniel Vaith and Grant Staffen.
Brady comes in hitting .338. He 15 RBIs and 17 runs scored. He's had a nice solid season.
Yeah, Brady, if he can stay disciplined, I'd say one thing that he lacks a little bit. And he's a go-getter. He sometimes will swing at stuff out of the zone. He again very aggressive in what you want out of a guy, but definitely will swing at some bad pitches. So if he can stay disciplined, get a few good hits. As there's strike 1. Looks like we do have some scores. In 5 innings, West County beat Valley Caledonia 16-0. Potosi beat Fredericktown 2-1. And Valley Catholic beat Central 2-0 before this game.
And we know that Valley will be in the championship game tomorrow. I'm not sure. I guess those other games are considered silver division or.
Yeah, there's a silver bracket and is it bronze or
there's also a bronze,
whatever?
huh?
Yeah, and so I'm not sure where all those guys lie, but they'll have a first championship for that bracket, silver bracket, and so forth. You have a 1-2 count here on Boyer as he fouled that last one off, and he lays off that curveball in the dirt, brings the count to 2-2. Again, we have Busenbark on the mound for the Knights. Here's the pitch, and Boyer fouls that one over their head into the parking lot.
Sure brought my fishing net.
Yeah. We have not had one hit here yet. I mean, there's been some that come at the net straight at us, but nothing that's actually went up and to us. There's a little ground ball. That's going to be a big hop.
Back on it.
He did, and he saved. Boyer has got some speed, for a long, lanky kind of freshman. Pretty athletic. Guy can jump really well, and he gets down the line. And like you said, the third baseman, he kind of stopped charging and waited on that one.
Sat back. Should have went after that first hop. I think he would have had him, but little hesitation.
In steps Daniel Vaith for the Dragons. So we'll ask our scorekeeper over here, is that a base hit?
I'm calling that a base hit.
Base hit. Okay. And Vaith gets a little
bump.
Oh, no, that's up in the air. Boyer able to get back. Vaith trying to sacrifice and move the runner down to second, but got his bunt too much in the air towards the pitcher, and the pitcher able to make that play.
Heads up base running by Boyer. That could have easily turned into a double play.
In steps Grant Staffen, number 3. Staffen's playing second base for the Dragons.
Grant's hitting .250. He leads the team in RBIs with 16.
Let's see if he can pick up 17. Oh, there's first pitch, swings to grounds at the third. They're going to try to go for 2. I don't know. He came off the base there. They called him out.
I think they called him out.
But not able to turn the double play as Staffen hustles down the first base line. But, that's one of those things where they probably don't watch too closely. But I'm pretty sure he was off the base when he caught the ball. So in steps Brandon Henson. He's number 4, playing shortstop. I don't believe he has a lot of at-bats this season, as a lot of times he gets DH for.
Got him as 23 plate appearances. He's hitting .158.
He takes ball high.
RBI and a couple of runs scored. So small sample size as far as hitting goes.
Here's the pitch, and he swings through that one for strike 1. So we got 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Dragons have Grant Staffen on first base as they check on him, and good scoop by Tomir over there as that ball was thrown in the turf. Brandon Henson has a 1-1 count. Wouldn't mind trying to pick him off and throw it away. Henson swings through that one for strike 2. So 1-2 the count now. Wiesenbart comes set, comes home, and ball high, 2-2. And there's the pitch, and he swings through that one, strike 3 for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Dragons get 1 walk, right? 1 walk, no hits.
Nope, wasn't a hit.
It was a single, not a walk.
High chopper to the third base.
That's right. So no walks, no hits, no runs.
1 hit.
Yeah, no walks, 1 hit, no runs. E2 on me. That's my second one. So the Dragons strain a runner both innings, the first inning and the second inning. The Knights come to bat here in the bottom of the second. Looks like they will have number 25, Tomir, number 7, Moon, and number 24, Labrat. So we didn't get what we asked for, and a few runs and some more time for the sun to go down. They must not have been listening.
Pretty much the story of my life.
As Giesler's going to throw it down, we'll get ready to start the bottom of the second inning. Try not to mess that up either. Getting confused again. The Knights are the home team tonight. They're the home team because they had the higher seed.
Nice crowd here this evening. People up on the hillside enjoying the beautiful weather.
Yeah, I was a little worried with that Blues game that some people would stay home, but I agree. Nice crowd.
They're all taping it. That's why we don't want to announce it.
There's a swing by Tomir, and he grounds that one past his coach over on the left side for strike 1.
I've already warned Clayton on the public address not to announce it.
Now that's the guy you got to watch out. He messes up quite a bit.
All the time.
Yeah. Makes us look bad because we look at the balls and strikes up there, and
That's
he's
right.
got them wrong.
If he's got him up there.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to talk about him when he's as far away as he is.
Oh, he knows it. He knows it. Sometimes he looks up here and laughs because he knows they're trying. Lominier, here's the 1-1 pitch, and he swings through that one. Good pitch on the outside corner, low and away from the big Tomir. Makes the count 1-2. And there's a foul ball. That'll keep the count there.
You can tell Coach McDaniel's done a good job of coaching the fundamentals. The kids are moving all the time, backing up throws back from the catcher. When balls are put into play, it looks like everybody's moving somewhere. Then instead of just standing and watching, that's always a good sign. Well-coached team.
Has ball 2, maybe a little bit inside. Brings the count to 2-2. Yeah, I agree, and I think the players, and there's ball 3. The players would definitely, I think, agree with that statement that that's one thing he really works on. And that's, you should, but to the players, sometimes that's the boring stuff.
Right. The stuff they don't want to do. And the fact that these kids do it, it just tells you they've been well drilled and do things right.
Tomir draws a walk. So he trotted on down to first base, and in steps number 7, Moon, for the Knights. The last guy that got on base at the bottom of the first inning tried stealing. Giesler was able to throw him out. I don't know if they'll send Tomir. He's got a good lead over there. He doesn't go. There's a bunt.
Nice
bunt. And Kemper charges all the way, makes the right play as there was no play at second, and gets Moon out at first.
And again, White started the inning off with a walk, and sooner or later that's going to get you in trouble.
Third baseman, number 24.
So now we have 1 out here. Runner on second is number 24, Labrat steps in. Another big good size kid. Stands about 6'4". Lombardier checks the runner at second, comes home. There's ball one, low and away. Yeah, those fundamental things. I think the last game we did, we talked about the catcher. I think that was Selby at the time, and there's ball two. The play was at first, and he runs all the way down. And you get a lot of teams will do that, but they just kind of jog. Just their coach. And I mean, there was a bad throw. He was able to get there in time to keep the runner from advancing.
Yep.
And that's another little thing. And there's a pitch, and again, that's low and away. Ball here from Lombardier against LeBrat.
Man in scoring position, he might be turning him loose here.
Yeah, and if I'm the Dragons, you almost just walk him to get it over with and get the double play chance. And that's exactly what happens. LeBrat trots on down. So the second walk of the inning.
Catcher, number 13, Tavin Westbrook.
And in steps number 13, Westbrook for the Knights. So we got first and second, one out here in the bottom of the second inning. Lombardier checks the runner, comes home, and there's a ball low and away again.
Having trouble with that strike zone.
And out comes McDaniel. He's going to talk to him. I have to say, I know he's been throwing balls, but at least they're low.
Right.
And not up high because, if you're missing up high and you finally get it down a little bit, well, that's right where they can drive it.
Right.
So I'm sure McDaniel's out there not just talking to Lombardier, but just talking to the defense, reminding them what they got going on here. Looked like he was pointing over to third, maybe remind Kemper, hard ground ball, touch third and go to first, just to go out and talk to him and loosen him up a little bit.
Yep. Set the defense, calm your pitcher down.
Did you have something special that you did when you went out there? I coach little kids, and I like to tell a joke every once in a while.
Usually try to, do something to loosen them up. And like I said, set your defense because there's a strike. You want to make sure everybody knows what they're doing.
Vaith is playing in on the grass over at first base. Henson trying to keep a runner close at second. And there's another strike as he swings and misses to that one. So 1-2 the count here on Westbrook.
Be a big out to get here.
We have Tomier down at second, LeBrat at first. And there's strike three. Nice pitch by Wyatt Lombardier. Blows that one by Westbrook.
Blew it right by him, like you said.
That's the second strikeout on the night for Lombardier. And in steps number 20, Palmer. Palmer's the DH. He's batting for number 5, Winder. So 2 outs now, runner on first and second. And there's ball high.
Left-handed batter.
Yep, Vaith now playing back behind the runner. Have more range. And here's the pitch. There's strike one as Palmer looks at that one. Brings the count to 1-1. Lombardier comes home, and there's a foul ball back to the screen for strike two.
Pretty good cut at that one.
Yeah, I think I would throw him some off-speed, something.
Something a little different.
Yeah.
He looked like he was on that pitch.
Runners gets good leads, especially LeBrat at first, as they're not holding him on. Here's a 1-2 pitch, and a little dinker, foul. Didn't hit it hard, but almost sneaked by Kemper there down the line, but sliced, foul.
Took a little off, but he put it up there, like you mentioned earlier, a little too high for my liking.
Looked like my golf hit. Takes off straight and there slices. Played yesterday, stopped keeping score after all. First time this year. Oh, and that one, Giesler not able to jump up and get that one, as that one was way too high. That'll be a wild pitch. Allows the runners to move over to second and third. So that could be big here, as a base hit in to the outfield might not have scored a run, but now it definitely will here with 2 outs. And Lometer gets him to foul that one off and keeps the count at 2-2. So now you definitely need a strikeout or something pop up or ground ball in the infield for an out.
Yep, keep him at 0. Big pitch here.
Here it is, 2-2 pitch, and he fouls that one off. Good battle we got going on here between Palmer and Lometer.
He's battling.
Again, he's still got 2-2 count. Come at him with a breaking ball. And here's the pitch, and there it was. It was in the turf. Easily able to keep it in front. Keeps the runners there. So now you got 3-2 count here. Runners at second, third. Now you're going to see nothing but probably a fastball. And here's the pitch. Blows it by him up high. Got him to chase.
Yes, he did.
That ends the inning with a strike. That's 2 strikeouts in the inning for Wyatt Lometer. So we had 2 walks, no hits, and no runs. So as we head to the top of the third, we still have a 0-0 score.
I think we have top of the order coming up.
I believe so. Henson did bat last, and he struck out. So we go to Derek Morgenthaler, Waylon Kemper, and Wyatt Lometer. Sounds like some runs.
You always like to think top of the order and get you going offensively.
The Dragons were able to get a runner on each inning so far, but not able to move them around.
Both teams have failed to hit with runners in scoring position. Farmington's leadoff people are getting on by way of walk. We've had people on the bases. It's going to get that first hit to crack through the goose eggs up there.
Leading off for the Dragons, left fielder, number 42, Derek Morgenthaler.
So Busenbark will take the mound again here in the top of the third. In steps Derek Morgenthaler, and Morgenthaler again the left fielder, and he grounded out to second the last time at bat. Right fielder playing kind of short. Really the outfield all playing a little short, as there's a breaking ball in the turf about 10 feet in front of the plate. I don't know what he's.
52-footer. You are right there. Outfield seems to be bunched together, taking the middle away. And
there's a little ground ball. That's going to get up the middle. No, shortstop able to come over and make the play.
It's a nice play.
For the first out of the inning. Thought maybe it'd squeak through. It bounced over the pitcher's head, and that is number 4 for the Knights, Castro.
Third baseman, number 1, Waylon Kemper.
In steps Waylon Kemper. Waylon was able to get a single his first time up at bat. And he fouls that one off to the right side.
Left fielder seems to be shading way to the right center field gap. Get an inside pitch and take it down the line. It's going to be an easy double.
Last time his single was over the shortstop's head, and I still think the outfielders, especially the center fielder, is pretty shallow. There's ball high, 1-1. Kemper lays off that one. Busenbark gets his sign, comes home. And strike 2. That one catches the outside corner. 1-2 the count. And Kemper fights that one off. That could be trouble as it's up the middle. Second baseman able to get there, but not able to make a good enough throw to get Kemper out. And that'll be another base hit for Kemper, as he's now 2 for 2.
Pitcher, number 25, Wyatt
And now in
Lometer.
steps number 25, the pitcher, Wyatt Lometer. Wyatt Lometer reached last time up on a fielder's choice, as I believe he grounded to shortstop, and they got Kemper out at second. So Wyatt Lometer again reached on fielder's choice. And there's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Gusenbark doing a good job of keeping the hitters guessing a little bit. Not too often as they check on the runner at first do you start off with a breaking ball.
White came into the game hitting .338. He leads the team in doubles with 10. We could use one of those now. And again, that left fielder,
There's strike 2 as it catches the outside corner.
Of course, White's a left-hander, so that's one reason. But if he could poke one down the line, they could run for a while.
And another breaking ball that stays outside. 1-2 the count. Yeah, there's a big gap there between short and third base, too, as the third baseman's playing really about a step in front of the bag. Shortstop, now he moves over. Must have heard me.
Yeah.
He started moving over because the shortstop is playing in double play depth, so he's closer to second base. Now the third baseman's backed up, moved over a little bit. And here's the pitch. Breaking ball or change up. Outside, 2-2.
He's definitely not pitching to the defense if he keeps pitching to that outside part of the plate.
It kind of reminds me of Adams. You know, the Adams, they have the shift, and then they throw it outside to him a lot.
Right.
It's like if he hits it off the end, it's going to go that way. And there's a ground ball. That's to the second baseman. He flips the shortstop. Again, not going to get Wyatt Lomadier at first with the speed. So deja vu, except for this time it was hit to second base. So Lomadier will reach on a fielder's choice again. Kimber out at second. So with 2 outs, runner on first, in steps number 9, Dalton Giesler. Giesler walked his first time up.
Be a good time for Dalton to get his second home run of the year.
No, really, the wind kind of blew all day, but I think it's kind of stopped.
Pretty calm tonight.
As the sun is almost down, just that right fielder still battling a little bit. Giesler watches ball 1 up high. See, I know 2 outs, don't want to run into the third out, but you do have Lomadier over there with some speed and might see what happens. Create some chaos.
I think it might be a good time to try to steal a base.
And they're going to check on him as they're worried about him. He's back safely.
Easily also. Quick crossover and dive, and it really wasn't close, so he might be able to get another step.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's ball outside. 2-0. Do we know who's behind the plate, umpire? Toombs?
Do not know who that is.
Hank out there in the
Hank's
field.
out at second, or on the bases.
And there's a drive to center field for a base hit. Dalton Giesler. Center fielder kind of takes it off the shoulder as it hops up, but Lomadier stops at second. So 2 out base hit for Giesler. We'll move Lomadier to second. So we have first and second now, and in steps Drew Toombs.
Chad Dunsey comes in to courtesy run for Dalton Giesler.
Designated hitter, number 29.
And Drew Toombs. Drew had a fielder's choice last time up a bat. He's in DHing tonight.
Both teams have had chances with runners in scoring position. See if Drew can break through here.
It's like that left fielder has scooted back a little bit.
Yeah.
There's strike 1. There's a little breaking ball. Right fielder kind of in, but again, right-handed batter.
Right.
That low slicing hit. Second baseman trying to keep Lomadier close. Here's the pitch, and there's a little ground ball. That could be tough. Big hop for the third baseman, though. Throws across, gets Toombs for the third out of the inning.
And again, we leave runners in scoring position.
So we had, let's see here, at top of the order. So that was 2 hits. 2 hits on the no walks. No runs. Yeah, we've stranded what? 2, 3? Stranded 3? 4. Stranded 4.
No, well, no, you're right.
3.
Yeah, because of the fielder's choice.
Yeah.
in the first inning.
Talking to our stat guy, Russ Toombs. The one, the only. Do you know any other Russ Toombs?
I don't.
No? See, the one, the only.
that we know of.
Can't say that about me. I went to school with another Robert Coleman, same age.
Is that right?
Yeah. He was. I was the good one. He was the bad one.
I know there's
He might be
some other Dennis Drums out there that I
Yeah.
know.
I remember getting a write-up slip in the mail, and it wasn't mine, but I got yelled at for a little while until I could explain that it was his, not mine.
Well, you probably deserved it anyway.
I was just okay. Maybe I should say I was the good. I was the sneakier one. How about that?
You're the one that got away with it.
All right, here we go. Going to the bottom of the third inning for the Knights. We have the ninth hitter, number 1, Bader.
You probably knew where the other Coleman boy lived, and anytime you got to the mail first and took it to his house.
There's the ball up and in, about hitting. Lamier struggled a little bit in the last inning. He did have 2 strikeouts, but he had 2 walks also.
See if he can get this leadoff man.
And there's ball 2 in the dirt. You know, I think sometimes he just really tries to overpower that ball. Not that you want to groove one and let up a little bit, but he really rears back and brings it.
Smells like the popcorn's well done tonight.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Strike 1.
There we go.
2-1. Coach not happy with that one, but he's got a big strike zone. He hits that one hard between the
Knock.
first and second baseman. Camden Rowe brings it in to keep the runner at first. So a leadoff base hit here in the third.
Third inning in a row, they get their leadoff.
Castro.
Castro coming to bat now. He walked his first time up. So we'll see what the Knights do here with a runner on first. There's ball high. Clayton Geck a little slow to get the strikes and balls off the last hitter out off there.
It's a tough job.
Bader at first, and there's ball 2. It doesn't even look like Castro's ready to hit. He's
I think
he's standing there.
Looks like he's going to make him throw a strike, doesn't it?
2-0 pitch on its way. There's strike. These are going to check Bader out at first. He's back safely.
All right, there's the strike. Let's see if they put a play on here.
Kemper in on the grass at third. Stop, staff, double play depth. Bader leaning, he goes. There's a foul ball.
Hit and run.
Yeah, you could tell Bader was going. He was leaning really bad. See if the Dragons pick up on that. Again, no outs here. Runner on first. Big lead again by Bader. Now he's leaning backwards. Wyatt's going to step off.
Looks the runner back.
These poles weren't our way. Be able to see a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And 2-2 pitch. And there's a drive to center field. 2 hops, Brady Boyer. Bader around second. He's going to go back. And now we have 2 base hits here.
Another troublesome inning. See if White can pitch out of this one.
So we got no outs here. First and second. In steps number 11, Kraus. Kraus struck out last time. Be nice to get another one of those or a good ground ball to third base. A little double play by Kemper. Hard ground ball, step on the bag, throw to first.
Ah, why be so nice? Let's get a triple play.
Triple play. There's a pitch. Ball.
Oh, boy, I wonder where that pitch was.
Yeah, he's not getting that corner, that's for sure. Boy, I just got that popcorn smell now.
Well done,
it is.
isn't it?
It is. Here's a 1-0 pitch, and he swings through that one. Kraus trying to send that one over the fence with that swing. 1-1 the count now.
And that's the problem when you get an umpire that doesn't give you that corner.
You
got
gotta
to start
groove 'em.
putting the ball in the middle of the plate.
Yeah. So 1-1 count here. Lomdeer checks the runner at second. He's going to look him back. You have Vaith. He's in front of the bag on the grass at first. So Castro going to get a good lead. He might be tough to double up. And the pitch. Kraus fouls that one straight back to the screen. Now the count's 1-2.
He's actually not taking as big a lead as you might think at first base.
With Vaith, yeah. Well, you definitely don't want to get thrown out behind, you know.
Now they're going behind him,
yeah.
so he should really be able to get a nice lead. Being pretty conservative.
And here's the
Ooh.
one. Struck him out and looking. So that's 2 strikeouts for Kraus. 1 swinging, 1 looking. And in steps number 3, the pitcher, Busenbark. He grounded out to short the last time to end the inning. So we'll take it again. Let's have him end the inning here in the bottom of the 3rd. We only have 1 out, so we still need the double play. Got Bader down at second. Castro at first for the Knights. Vaith now in front of the runner again at first. And there's ball high. Bader getting a big lead down there at second.
Big lead.
And it's really not a lead. I guess it's a secondary lead on the pitch.
Secondary lead. He's looking to score on any kind of base hit.
Oh
yeah, boy.
Got him. They got a good throw to Kemper. Chase him down. Now you got him. He's at second. So they got 2 runners at second. Just he doesn't know. Bader didn't know what to do there as he slows down and Henson's able to tag him. But, you know, Castro did what most runners would do. If somebody in front of you is getting the pill, you're going to get to the base.
You want to advance. Get yourself in scoring position.
But I heard, you know, Wyatt Lomdeer was set. The coach, Farmington's coach, was yelling, "Get off there!" And when he said that, Bader really took a big jump.
Took 2 big strides, and he was going the wrong way when White stepped off. He was finished.
There's another ball for Busenbark. So, Toombs, how did you mark that one? 1-6-5-6 put out. Okay.
They're very aggressive with their secondary leads. P.O.
P.O. He's picked off for the second out. So we got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd now. We still do have Castro down at second. And there's a foul ball over our head. That brings the count to 2-2. So if the Dragons can get out of here with no damage, it would be good, as they gave up 2 leadoff hits. Lomdeer comes set. Short lead at second. And breaking ball, there's a ground ball. Henson scoops it up, throws across, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So Busenbark ends the inning again with a 6-3 ground out.
Wyatt continues to pitch himself in and out of trouble.
We did have no walks. We had 2 hits, no runs. And again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts so far for Wyatt Lomdeer. Well, he's doing a good job. Not efficient. I wouldn't say he's being efficient.
Right.
But he's doing a good job of getting out of the 55 pitches. Russ Toombs says. So that ain't bad here through 3 innings. Not great, but still going to definitely, hopefully, be able to get through a little. You know, it'd be nice to get through 5, 6 innings.
I suspect both managers are getting a little frustrated with not being able to get that big hit. Break that ice, get off the goose eggs, and put a run on the board or 2.
Yeah, the Knights have stranded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like. Or 4, no, because he got put out. So the Knights, they both stranded 4 so far. So nope, Dragons have stranded 3, Knights have stranded 4. So for the Dragons, on step number 30, Brady Boyer. Boyer singled the last time up.
That adds to his .338 average.
How good are you at math? Can you?
Not good enough. I'm going to say .342.
There you go.
If he's
Nobody knows the difference. You could just say random numbers.
That's right. If anybody's sitting at home with their calculator, then they can call in. That number is 883.
You know, as you had, did you bring a trivia question? That's kind of your job. I don't know. Did Russ not tell you that?
Nobody told me that. I can come up with a trivia question.
An 0-2 count here on Boyer.
I might not know the answer.
There's a base hit.
Knock, add to his average of 342. I'd say he's up to 346 now.
346 batting average for Brady Boyer. Okay.
First baseman, number 27, Daniel
In
Vaith.
steps Daniel Vaith. Vaith popped up to, he tried to bunt. He popped up to the pitcher. We'll see if they bunt again here as he sticks it out there and misses that one.
Got to execute the little things.
Yeah, with the way the game's going, you definitely, one run could be the difference here. I don't think it's going to be with as many runners that have been on base. It'd be hard to keep both teams out from. There's another bunt and he misses. He's trying to, and they're going to throw to first. Boyer's back safe. But he's trying to pull out of there. You know, he's sacrificing. You just got to go with it and leave it in there. And 356 average. Russ figured it out. 356.
What did I say? 356?
350 something. I don't know if you said 6 or not.
With as many as bats, you can add 3 to 4 points a hit.
Yeah. So we got stop here. Looks like, Hank, there's a car.
Oh, he drove right into the bullpen.
Well, he was parked, yeah. But the lights were on. Hank wanted the lights off.
Oh, I thought maybe. Daniel certainly didn't look very comfortable bunting. I would be surprised if they try to bunt him with 2 strikes.
And ball high. Vaith brings count to 1-2. So again, Boyer had a leadoff single here in the top of the 4th. Again, if you're just now joining us, the Dragons are the visiting team, and there's a breaking ball up high, 2-2.
Slow curve. If that'd been down about 4 more inches, that would have been like putting it on a tee.
So Busenbark comes set. He's going to check on Boyer. He's back safely. You know, Busenbark's pickoff move is not necessarily like after he's been set for a while and let the runner gets the lead. A lot of times he goes as the runner's leading off as Vaith fouls that one back, trying to catch him with his momentum going away from the bag. And if I don't know if that was the Farmington game, but that happened in one game I seen. Busenbark comes set, 2-2 pitch. Vaith swings through that one for strike 3 for the first out of the inning. In steps number 3, Grant Staffen. Staffen reached from a fielder's choice last time. Be nice for Staffen to get a big hit here. Staffen really started off the season well, kind of cooled off a little bit.
Still leads the team in RBIs, though. He's got 16 of them.
He takes ball 1 high. Gets the sign for McDaniels. Digs back in. Boyer lead at first. And the pitch. And he's going to drive that one to left field. Could it go over him? Nope. Left fielder is able to come back, make the play. Just kept staying up there. Looked like it was a good shot, but it's going to bring up enough for the. So that is the second out of the inning, and in steps Brandon Henson. Henson struck out last time, swinging. Boyer made it safely back to first. And the pitch, and he fouls that one back over the top. You know, one thing I've noticed, and maybe a little more to the game, but I'm hearing a lot more out of the dugouts, a little more excitement, I think, than what I've heard in the past. And Henson drives that one to center field. That's probably going to be caught pretty easily, as it is. For again, Strand, and that's 4 now, as the single was left there at first base. So we have no walks, 1 hit, no runs. So total, 1 walk and 2, 3, 4, 5 hits for the Dragons so far. Again, the left 4 on for the Knights as we head to the bottom of the 4th. They have 3 walks, 2 hits, and no runs. Do we have the pitch count on Busenbark yet? Or 58 from Busenbark, 58 through 4. So Lombardier, it's definitely pitch count, not quite higher yet, but it has a whole another inning to go through. As Lombardier's thrown 55 through 3, Busenbark's thrown 58 through 4.
Almander is yet to get the leadoff batter.
Leading off for the Knights, first baseman, number 25, Garrett Tamur.
Number 25, Tamur, is going to lead it off for the Knights. He walked his first time up the bat.
St. John's failed to execute a couple of bunts. Farmington's had some base runners mess up.
There's ball 1 inside. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Ball 2 in the turf. There's a strike for Lombardier. Right down central. 2-1 the count. And there's, a base hit by the diving Staffen. Barely. Staffen might have got a piece of it, but definitely. In steps Moon, number 7. He had a sacrifice bunt last time up.
So that's 4 innings in a row. Farmington's put their leadoff man on. I'm going to say he's going to try to bunt again here.
And he didn't look like he was going to, but that ball was low and away for ball 1. Usually when you think a guy's going to bunt, you try to go up on him, see if you can pop him up.
Right.
Here's the pitch, ball 2 low and away in the turf. Two-0 count here. Lombardier comes set. There's 3-0 in the turf.
Oh, boy. Asking for trouble here.
Yeah. Sure we'll have a take here. So coach runs through a bunch of signs. Tamur with a short lead. I think he could take one step. There's strike 1. So now we'll see what they're going to do. A 3-1 count here. Coach likes going up and down over there. His arms got to be tired after the game.
That's right.
It's like curls. And he's going to swing through that one. There's a pop up to Lombardier.
There we go.
That kind of went off the bat, and maybe the end of the bat.
Hitter.
Just 3-0 count.
Yeah. 3-0.
Number 24.
Got one out here in the bottom of the 4th. Runner on first. And in steps number 24, LeBrat. LeBrat walked the last time up the bat. Tamur takes a small lead, and there's strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. As he swings through that one, foul ball as it goes back and hits Giesler in the mask maybe or the chest. It's tough enough. That's what that padding's for.
That's right.
We got an 0-2 count here. Looks like we got some movement over in the bullpen, and there's a foul ball overhead. like maybe is that Jake Brewster.
Oh, nice pitch.
Oh. Just missed by a hair.
I thought that was maybe his best pitch of the day. Took a little off of it. Had good movement to it.
That brings the count to 1-2, and there's another breaking ball. We'll take this one. Can we double them up? Exchange is just in time. Nice double play there by Henson to Staffen of 8. So that's strand 6, I think, No? 5? Oh, yeah. Duh, they were out. See what I know. That's why Mr. Toombs is here, stat guy.
Somebody's got to keep us on our toes.
But if he wouldn't say anything, nobody would. Well, I guess. Is anybody watching?
Can you tell how many hits we got on there?
I don't know. So, now you got me flustered. We got 1 hit, no walks. 7 awesome fans, no runs.
That might be the same guy 7 different times.
Just kept losing his connection.
If you're out there, good evening.
For the Dragons, it looks like we are at the top of the order. That is correct, with Derek Morgenthaler, Waylon Kemper, and Wyatt Lombardier. So we're heading to the top of the 5th. We'll check the blue score real quick and let you know. Just kidding.
Oh,
Leading off for the
Coach
Dragons,
Coleman just went over the rail.
Derek Morgenthaler.
He's not really hitting me. I'd like to say hi to Miss Steph Bloomfield. She's working up at school. She's listening. I know I've talked to her before. She listens, loves this because she's able to work and have it playing and able to, even though she can't be here, she's able to listen to what the Dragons are doing. So,
and a little comedy.
Yeah, yeah. We don't. It's funny to us. I don't know. If it's funny to anybody
she's
else.
probably thinking, oh, Lord,
Yeah, what a.
we should shut up.
She probably muted it. She can't even hear it. She's
that's
just
right.
got it on the screen. Not listening to these guys tonight.
Good pitch there, a little off-speed pitch. Kept it down low.
So Derek Morgenthaler was retired, 6'3". And Kemper steps up. He does have 2 hits today, but he's going to pop it up. Second baseman able to run over and make the play.
Good pitching progression there. He started him out with off-speed pitch, and then that was low, and then he threw a high heater up. Got an easy little pop-up.
Yep, Busenbark working into the 5th inning here.
And he's about to have a real quick inning.
McDaniel's talking to Wyatt Lombardier down there, so Wyatt's coming into bat next. He has 2 fielder choices. I believe he's grounded to the shortstop both times. No.
Won't have a fielder's choice this time.
Oh, he won't have it. I know, but both to the shortstop. No, one to the short, one to the second baseman.
Probably drops his average about 332.
Drops at 332 or to 332? Let's go Blue.
If you're listening out there, Coach Coleman's
come
having
to
too
school
much
tomorrow-
fun.
If I come to school tomorrow with black eyes, you guys know why. Lombardier's ahead in the count 2-0. And he pops that one up. That's going to get out of play. That's left field side into the cage where they keep the portable backstop. Brings the count to 2-1. Still got some Valley Warriors hanging around. Going to see who they play tomorrow. Doing a little scouting. Busenbark throws that one in the dirt. 3-1.
I'm not sure that Valley would have played Farmington, being their big school. Probably not.
And there's a drive to center
hard.
that could get over his head. He's running back. He misses it. It doesn't get to the wall. Amadier's gonna stop at second.
Well, we've been saying that those guys
leads in
play
doubles.
shallow. And
that adds another. So how many doubles is that on the?
That adds to his team lead, pushes him to 11 doubles.
Now batting, catcher, number 9. Dalton
In steps
Giesler.
Dalton Giesler. Giesler has a walk and a single.
Take it the other way. Relax, take it the other way.
It'd be nice to get another single with Lamadier's speed at second
Have fun.
and a good chance to score. I would probably guess that Lamadier would be on his horse trying to go all the way home.
Center fielder is moving in again.
Yep. Busenbark checks at Lamadier. There's a ball on the turf. Good job by the catcher.
Did a real good job
Keep
keeping
that
it
one in
front.
front, and that's number 13, Westbrook.
With Wyatt's wheels, you wouldn't take much for him to advance to third.
If Wyatt could get a good secondary lead, he could make it to third even on that, I think.
Right.
That's a tough for a catcher to block it, then go get it, and then throw. Giesler turns on that one. That's going to be foul. I think.
Good play by the third baseman.
good.
Even if it was a foul ball, he was not taking any chances.
That's Labrat over there, diving play, made the catch. Would have been tough to come up and throw from making that play to get Giesler out at first. So 1-1 the count now. Lamadier with kind of a short lead, and Giesler fights that one off foul. Hits something behind us. Well, that's a car or a trash can or a shed. So again, the Dragons knocking on the door a little bit here in the top of the 5th inning. 2 outs, for 1 and 2 the count. Giesler digs in, Busenbark.
What started out as a pretty easy, quick inning,
There's ball high, 2-2.
now being extended and making him work.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Glad you said it was going to be. Change it
That's
as
right.
well. 2's on the board. 2-2 the count. 2 outs. The pitch in the dirt.
And
Lamadier gets the jump that time. He was going no matter what, no matter where it rolled to.
right. Now a lot of things to get him home.
Yep. Full count here. Pressure on Busenbark.
Toombs on deck. We're going to break through right here.
Busenbark goes to the windup now. Here's the pitch, and Giesler drives it to center, but that's going to hang up
That under it.
there. Yep, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So, yep, a little too far underneath it. And the Dragons go down with no walks, 1 hit, and no runs. So they've stranded 5. Well, you said at the beginning it was going to be a close game, and can't get any closer than this.
Nope.
0-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Cardinals won today. You didn't tape that, did you?
No, I actually
Got
watched
to
it.
watch. Oh, I forgot. You're retired, so you're.
Fell asleep in the 2nd and 3rd inning. But
Oh, the
So-
rough
so
life
it was
of
tough. I had a
retired teacher.
rough day. Mr. Toombs called me and
Oh, woke you up?
woke
did
me
you?
up, or I
Oh,
might have missed the whole game.
Man, how many more years you got, Russ? That sounds nice, doesn't it? 9 years?
I haven't found anything about it I don't like.
So yeah, they pull out. That's 2 games in a row as they won the night before on a.
I went last night, so
Really?
that was a good game to be at.
That was the 9th inning. Matt Holliday base hit.
That ball Adams hit last night, I mean, it got to the wall in a heartbeat.
Really?
It was a shot.
Well, I was reading. Was it Moss hit a home run?
Moss hit a monster today.
I was reading. I think that's the longest home run in that Busch Stadium from a lefty.
I think that's right.
Leading off for the Knights, Catcher,
All right,
number
so we're
13,
headed to the bottom of the
Gavin
fifth. The
Westbrook.
Knights will bring up number 13, the catcher Westbrook. He struck out last time up at bat. That was back in the second inning.
And I think their leadoff man got on last
And
inning,
it did,
right?
a base hit. We've had one walk, walked in the first, a walk in the second, and base hit in the third, and a
another-
base hit.
oh, nice
play
play.
by Kemper. Sliding scoop and a throw, and Vaith unable to make the play. Nice job by Kemper, though.
Sure was.
He was kind of dove, slid, backhand,
I was-
scooped. You know, one hop the first baseman, but
Off the bat, I thought it was a double.
very nice play, but Vaith just unable to hold on to that. So Coach McDaniel's coming over to talk to Hank.
Looks like
Gonna
he's going
ask-
to get some help.
I don't know what he's
Did he tag him? I think he's asking.
picked it up.
Oh,
Asking
okay.
me maybe if he picked it up in time to still be out.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 20.
I guess it's worth a try, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Go out there and see what happens. Doesn't hurt just to go.
I
be
would have
safe.
called him out. I didn't see it because of the pole.
Well, let's see what happens here now as number 20 Palmer steps in. He struck out his last time at bat in the second inning. So again, the Knights get on the leadoff batter.
Right.
This time, I mean, base hit, that's a tough play. Or did you err? Err?
E3 or
On the
5.
throw, E5. So E5.
Tough error, but if he makes
Yeah,
a throw, the guy's out.
that's true. But give him props on the snag, that's for sure. Doesn't get you anywhere, though, I guess. Bad throw.
Scored a little early there. I don't know if he's just trying to see what the defense is going to do or if he's actually going to bunt.
And that
Oh,
one's in the
boy.
dirt, so don't need to bunt now unless you want to bunt him down to third. As that wild pitch moves Westbrook down to second. So Palmer's got a 1-1 count.
Umpire's doing a pretty good job of working together.
Yep. I think he was asking if the bunt was still out there, maybe.
Right.
So Vaith inside on the grass is gonna look. Yep, there's the bunt, and it's a hard one to Vaith, and
Uh-oh.
they're gonna turn and get the out at first. Definitely smart decision, as there was no way to get
Right.
Westbrook all the way, which I don't know if that's Westbrook. Maybe a pinch runner. Looks like a different number. Can't see it,
Right
but
fielder, number
Palmer has
1,
a sack
John
bunt
Bader.
to move number 22. Who's that? Hastings. Hastings is the runner now for Westbrook, since Westbrook is the catcher. So we've got one out here in the bottom of the fifth. Bader steps up. Bader had a base hit last time.
Kind of that time of the evening now where the ball gets a little tough to see till it gets a little darker.
And he swings and misses that, fouls it off. So he tipped it off. Can't see if that was the umpire or Giesler's mask. But so Lamender gets ahead 0-1. Bayer gets his sign from his coach. Going to dig in. Really, the best thing you can get here is a strikeout or maybe a pop up to the infield. Is there strike two
good
as he
pitch.
watches that one? That's what we need. See if we can't get a little breaking ball to catch the outside corner here.
Got to watch your squeeze here. Game this tight.
0-2 the count. The wind up in the pitch, and there's a ground ball to short. Henson comes in, makes the play at first, and he was playing in. The infield was in, so Hastings at third had the hold, and so the Dragons do a good job of there to keeping the runner at third and getting it out.
Shortstop, number 4, Andre Castro.
So 2 outs now here, and in steps Castro. Castro has a walk and a base hit.
As hard as runs are to come by in this game, I would have thought they might have had the contact play on with the young man at
running no
third
matter
base.
where it
Just
went.
Take
Yep.
off and take your chances.
There's ball one from White Lamender. Yeah, you want to try to make something happen. It's kind of
this late in the game.
There's a ground ball. That's going to be tough. Henson scoops,
Nice.
makes the play, and he's out at first. Vaith, nice job.
Nicely done.
Nice stretch and a little short hop to Vaith, and the Dragons get out of that one. And there's some excitement now coming out of the Dragon dugout. Get some momentum going. So nice play by Henson. A little short, and then Vaith finished it off with a little scoop. So the Knights have no hits. But there was an error.
Yep.
Correct?
That is correct.
One hit, you gave that a hit, not an error?
No, down here was an error.
So we go in the top of the sixth, still tied, 0-0.
Have Westbrook with an error. Or Westbrook reached on an error.
Reached on
Okay.
there.
So no walks, no hits, no runs, but there was an error. So for the Knights, through 5, they have 3 walks and 3 hits. The Dragons have 1 error on the night. The Dragons have 1 walk, 6 hits, but no runs. The Knights have not committed an error. And I believe they've both stranded 5, if I can.
Leading off for the Dragons, designated hitter, number 29, Drew Toombs.
All right, in steps Drew Toombs. He's going to lead us off here in the top of the 6th. Drew has a fielder's choice and ground ball to the third baseman. So he is 0 for 2. Can't remember that fielder's choice if it counts against you.
Yes, it does.
So he's 0 for 2 on the night. And there's a ground ball back to the pitcher. He underhands it to the first baseman for the first out of the inning. And now in steps Brady Boyer, and Brady is 2 for 2 with 2 singles.
Center fielder, number 30, Brady Boyer.
Let's see if he can't
Should
go
push,
for a double.
push his average about 342.
And there's ball 1.
Threw that curveball again.
And he drives that one to left field. That could
He's
carry.
not
It's
gonna
going
catch
to.
that.
That's going to get to the wall. And if I ask, I shall receive. A double. I said, Boyer, let's push it to a double instead of a single. And boy, he drove that one line drive over the left fielder's head. Maybe 2 hops to the fence.
Number 27,
5th double of the year.
Daniel Vaith.
And in steps Daniel Vaith. Daniel has popped to the pitcher and struck out today. It's a good time for him to get his first hit of the game.
You just had to feel that sooner or later we're going to burn that outfield.
Yeah, well, it's like you said, they've been shallow.
Yep.
But then again, the Dragons have not hit the ball really that hard as Vaith swings through that one. So he's trying to kill it.
Yep. We just need a base hit now.
1 out here, runner on second. And the Dragons knocking on the door. See if Busenbark's able to fight through this inning like he's done so far. And Vaith didn't want to swing but did. You can tell he's flustered, and now he's 0-2. A lot of noise going on.
His body language has just made it seem like he's awfully uncomfortable up there tonight.
And there's ball outside. And the Knights don't like that one, the dugout.
I don't think Farmington liked that call, but from where I'm sitting, it looked like a
No.
good call.
I agree. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Vaith lays off that one high, and that's the one he swung out for strike 2.
Yep.
2-2 the count now. Needs to sit back and wait on one. Relax a little bit. You can just see he's jumping. He wants to make this hit. And there's the pitch. He lays off that one. They're going to throw back down to second. Boyer back safely. As Castro runs over and barely makes the catch. Center fielder was doing a good job running in, so I don't think Boyer would have made it to third if it would have went through. But now we have a 3-2 pitch here for Vaith.
With our leading RBI man on deck and staffing.
And the pitch, and that one's in the dirt. There's a walk. Daniel Vaith, after being down 0-2, fights back for a walk. So now we have first and second. One out here in the top of the sixth.
Get some words of wisdom from Coach Gibson down there at first base.
And the Farmington Knights coach just want to go and talk to his pitcher. Doesn't look like he's motioned for any movement yet, so he's going to go out and talk him down. Try to calm things down as there's both dugouts getting rowdy, crowd going crazy. Sold out crowd.
I'd say standing or sitting room on the hill
yeah.
only.
42,000 people. Oh, wait.
Now batting for the Dragons, second baseman, number 3, Grant Staffen.
Grant Staffen has a fielder's choice and flowing out to the left fielder. Last time up at bat.
Would love to see him push that RBI total to 17 here.
First and second.
Or more.
So double play is in effect. Here are the crowd clapping, or somebody. Oh, and there's a ground ball to third. Steps on the bag and throws out Staffen. High chopper to third. Labrada able to step on third and throw Staffen out at first. So that is a 5-3 double play to end the sixth inning.
Neither team can get a clutch hit.
Yep.
They've all had plenty of base runners.
So the Dragons have one walk in that inning, one hit, no runs, and now they've stranded 6. Only stranded one of those two because one was out. I'm catching on, Russ. I'm catching on.
There you go. Yeah, we do this long enough, we might
Yeah.
get to where people turn the volume up instead of hitting mute.
Yeah. I'm just glad we're not on, they can't see us.
That's right.
Because then we'd have 1,000 people watching. Just
Oh yeah, I don't know if the
yeah, just on night shirt here, didn't he?
yeah, well,
Leading off for the Knights, center fielder, number 11.
Pretty sure somebody down there was wanting your autograph earlier too. I'm sure the real announcers at Cardinal Stadiums have people bring them drinks and food
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff throughout.
stats, handing them
Yeah.
stats all the time.
For the Knights here in the bottom of the sixth, they will start with number 11, Kraus. Kraus has struck out twice, once swinging, once watching. Might as well make it 3 for 3 with strikeouts.
Yep.
Lomander back to the mound here in the sixth inning. And there's a drive to right center. That's going to get down. That's going to not all the way to the fence, but Kraus is headed into second for a stand-up double.
6 innings in a row, they've gotten their leadoff man on. Lomander's been able to pitch around him.
Yep. Pitch count's got to be getting up there. I don't know. The last time I had 55 after 3 or 4 innings, so.
Got his work cut out
Sure,
for
if
him
it
here.
comes very deep into this inning, 80
coming into this inning.
80 coming into this inning. Well, there's at least 81.
Fake bunt, see what the defense going to do. Third base is staying at home to cover the bag. So if they do bunt, and he can bunt it to the third base side, he might bunt for a single.
Lomader's got some speed off the mound if he can pop over and get it, though, and they swing away, and there's a foul ball over our head. Brings the count to 1-1. No outs here, runner on second. The difference between this inning is the leadoff batter's at second, not first, with no outs.
Looks like a little action in both teams' bullpens.
That's Brewster over there on our side, and can't see who it is for the Knights.
Yeah, he's got a
Hoodie on.
so it looks like he's might be coming out next inning.
2-1 count here on Busenbark. And Lomander pitches. Ball low at the knees. 3-1.
Yeah, you got a base open, so this wouldn't be the worst thing. I think I'd groove it right down the middle. Just
Here's the pitch, and he swings through that, fouls it off. Giesler's mask. 3-2. Dalton doesn't seem phased. Probably the second or third time tonight. So we got 3-2 count, no outs. Bottom of the 6th, runner on second. Wyatt Lomader comes set. The pitch, and there's a ground ball to third. Kimber catches. There he's going to go. Throws.
Oh, nice play.
He make the out. He came down on the base.
Yep.
It was a high throw. Vaith with a huge jump and able to come down. But the runner does move to third.
Nice play by Vaith.
Yeah.
Could have been disastrous.
Not only does it get an out, it saves the run, keeps him at third, because if that went over his head, the run would have scored.
Yep.
So 1 out, runner on third. In steps Tomier. Tomier has walked and singled. Got a lot of conversations going on as Giesler goes to talk to Lomader, and now the first base coach runs over to talk to the third base coach and the batter, Tomier.
Be interesting to see if Lomader pitches off the stretch. Try to keep him close in case of a squeeze.
The Dragons do have the choice of maybe walking him.
Yep.
To get to a double play.
He is going to pitch off the stretch.
On deck is Moon, who's sack bunt and popped to the pitcher. And he's going to swing away, and he fouls that one straight back. Infield is in. Everybody on the grass, on the green turf.
Vaith is way in.
Yeah.
He's even charging, anticipating a bunt.
He swung away on that one, but you never know. So he's going to.
I'm not sure he's going to
keep
be able to
coming
get back to first base if he has to.
Yeah, that's true. And get staff and make it over. There's ball 1 up and in. So 1-1 the count. 1 out. Runner on third. Bottom of the 6th. Lomader comes set. And home. And there's a fly ball out to the right side. That's going to get out of play. And it bounces into the parking lot. Fan chasing that down full speed.
Pull Hammy going after it that hard.
Yeah, I wonder if he stretched first. That guy was cruising.
Cool evening. We're going to have to
call the ambulance.
get the medical team out here.
1-2 pitch here from Lomader. Ball
nice
outside.
pitch.
Didn't get him to chase.
He really hasn't called that pitch
Nope.
all night, so he's been pretty consistent.
Giesler, you can tell he stretched out a little bit for that one. 2-2.
Worth a try, 2-1. Now you got to come back and get him with this pitch.
Lomader wants to talk to him. Couldn't remember what he had for lunch.
Well, I was going to say, or what they're having for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, should I bring my lunch tomorrow?
Yeah.
Let's just not go at all. How about that?
Yeah.
We win this one.
We win. We'll just show up for the game.
Yeah.
See what Mr. Haney says. Mr. Nix.
Mr. Gibson's going to run out of the dugout.
He might pull a Haney.
Yep. Whoa, easy.
Yeah.
Speed.
Dang, he's still lightning quick.
See all the shoes he's got on?
Looks like Billy White Shoes Johnson.
At least it's not Shoeless Joe, I guess.
Oh,
nice pitch by Lomader. Tomier swings through that breaking ball.
Took a little off of it, kept it down around the knees.
Big strike out there to get 2 outs now with a runner on third. And that's what Lomader wanted to talk about. Give me the breaking ball.
Yep.
Watch me do my magic. Looks like we're going to, is it a pinch hitter or? 15 for 7. So Moon is not going to get the bat this time. Bello? Is that how you would say that? Bello? B-E-L-O, 16. Yordi. I'll blame that one on Toombs.
Well,
Yordi.
it's certainly not our fault.
Nope. So let's see what he can do. 2 outs, runner on third, and there's strike.
Ball.
Nope, strike one. He didn't give the signal.
He didn't put his hand
either that
out
or
there.
Clayton messed up. Either way, it's not our fault.
That's right.
They still in on the grass, 2 outs, and there's a ground ball. Kemper jumps. Can he make the throw over? Throws a striker out of 8th to get him out of the inning. Nice job by the Dragons. Again, the leadoff batter doubled and then able to move over to third, and he was at third with, was it 1 out? With 1 out, and the Dragons get out of that inning. So the Knights in the 6th inning have 1 hit, no walks, and no runs. No errors by the Dragons. There was a strikeout. That is 2, 3, 4, 5 for Lamadere. Be interesting to see if he goes out for that 7th inning. He's got to be 95 pitches.
Looks like Farmington's going back out with their starter.
Yeah. Buzenbark, he was at 58 after 4. So 68, 82. 82 pitches going into the top of the 7th. Yeah, so with 95, I don't know if we'll see Lamadere again in the 7th.
Well, whether we do or not, he's pitched a whale of a game. He's given us every opportunity to win.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, not,
as has the Buzenbark boy.
Not efficient, but he's gotten the job done. And in steps Brandon Henson. Henson on the night is struck out and fly to left field. Good time for him to, he's a leadoff batter here. I'd like to see him maybe see some pitches here and get on base any way he can get. And he's going to swing through that one. There's a base hit. Little one-hopper to the center fielder, and so Henson does his job. Lead off is on base. And I think that's the first time tonight that the leadoff batter has gotten on for the Dragons. So maybe that'll work.
Hopefully.
For the first time. In steps Darren Morgenthaler. Nope, second time.
Brady's been on the start of an inning.
Oh, Brad Brady's been on there twice, so third time. See what I know. And Derek Morgenthaler shows bunt. Did he pull it back? Nobody knows. Nope. They said he pulled it back. 0-1. Looked like he left it out there to me, but I will take it. Morgenthaler has grounded out 3 times tonight. Shortstop twice and second baseman once, I believe, maybe. And they're going to check at the runner first. He's back safely. So we're going to probably see some small ball here to get one runner at least across the plate. Nope, and Derek didn't show bunt that time. He watched ball 2 out and away, up and away, out, way away. 2-0. In Henson, they're going to check on him again. He's back safely. Buzenbark comes set, and he's going to check on him again. So they're worried, trying to keep him close. Don't want him to steal, get a good jump. And 0-0, top of the 7th. And Derek Morgenthaler drives that one down the left field side. That's going to be a base hit for him. Henson stops at second. So 2 hits here to start the 7th inning. And in steps Waylon Kemper. Waylon he's 2 for 3. He has 2 singles, and he's popped up to the second baseman.
Probably hitting right around 230 now after a couple of hits tonight.
I would say that, we got to get these runners over in scoring position, get out of the double play. So a bunt here would be nice. Buzenbark steps off. He's maybe getting a little flustered. The Knights did warm up a pitcher the last inning, but don't see anything now. Henson at second.
Probably going to at least square to see what kind of defense they run.
And there it is. A breaking ball. He gets it down perfect. The only play is at first. They get him. So Kemper does his job. Sack bunt. So we have second and third with one out and Wyatt Lomadier. Let's see if Wyatt can help himself out. Wyatt is 1 for 3. Does have 2 fielder choices and a double the last inning. He drove that one. Was that over center field or left field?
Over center.
Center field.
He, as you mentioned earlier, they moved him down in the lineup for RBI reasons, and now he's got a golden opportunity.
Infield is in for the Knights. They're just, most of them, the first baseman's on the grass, but second base takes 1 step into the grass. So
they're walking him.
Intentional walking. They don't have to throw the 4 pitches? They don't have to do that in high school? Boo. Make them throw them.
Right.
Make you throw it away. Bases loaded here. And in steps Dalton Giesler. So an intentional walk. What do you mark that as?
IW.
Just a walk, IW. And in steps Dalton Giesler. Dalton is 1 for 2. He's got a walk, a single, and flied out to center field.
Fly ball to center field would be nice.
That would score a run. You got Henson at third, Derek Morgenthaler down at second, and now Wyatt Lomadier at first. Yep.
Might as well get a little greedy, though, and go for a double down the line.
All the pressure on Busenbark and the Knights here in the top of the 7th.
Can't really think of a better kid to be up to bat.
Nope. Again, the infield is on the edge of the grass. And the pitch, and it's a breaking ball. Ball 1. Tad bit outside. Lots of noise. You can hear that. Crowd clapping. Dugouts yelling.
Tension's pretty thick.
Here's the pitch. Strike 1 on Dalton Giesler. You know, Busenbark, whether he's getting tired or just really aiming the ball, it seems like he's let up a lot.
Right. That ball there.
I think I could throw that speed. There's ball high, 2-1. I might hurt my arm, but I think I could probably do that.
I really don't see anybody up in the bullpen, but in high school that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
Next pitcher could be out in the field somewhere.
And there's a drive to left field. That's going to score 2, maybe 3, as Henson scores. Morgenthaler scores. Lomadier stops at third, and that's a 2 RBI double by Dalton Giesler. And that big hit that we keep talking about finally comes through here in the 7th inning.
Gives Dalton 13 RBIs on the season. Here comes Farmington's coach. He might have waited one batter too long.
Yeah, like you said, that Busenbark was just, I mean, the speed just wasn't there, what he was doing earlier.
You could just tell he was worn down.
Giesler was able to turn on that one, drove it down the left field line. And now he's getting beat on by his fellow partners over at third as the Farmington coach came out to talk.
Now the question is, will Lomadier come back out and pitch, or?
I don't know.
He's right at 100 pitches, isn't he?
92.
92.
So a little leeway, I guess. You could throw him out there to start and maybe go quick, but I don't think you'll leave him out there very long.
Right.
I don't know if
sticking with Busenbark.
100 pitch count is the kind of the.
I would think this late in the year they should all be up to 100 pitches comfortably. Nice cool evening.
Drew Toombs going to come to bat here. He's got runners on second and third. He is 0 for 3. He's got 2 groundouts and a fielder's choice. And here's the pitch.
2 huge base runners out there in scoring position.
Yeah, the way the Knights have been getting on base, you know.
Can't have enough.
Yeah. He's 0-1. That ball doesn't quite break enough and stays inside.
He just looks like he's laboring.
Yeah. 1-1 the count now. That's when when you're for your Toombs, you want to sit on a fastball. Something weighs speed that he's throwing. Stay balanced. Nice and easy swing.
Again, there's a little activity in the Farmington bullpen. None in St. Jen's. So.
There it is. Stayed back enough to hit it to third. They're going to throw home. They're going to get Lomadier at home. So going on contact.
That's a good, solid call.
Yeah, expect the speed of Lomadier. Third base is other than the pitcher. Any other base, you probably get in there. Dalton Giesler, though, didn't advance. That's the bad part about it, but 2 outs here.
Now I think they're bringing in a
Chad
courtesy runner.
Center fielder, number 30, Brady
So
Boyer.
Toombs reaches on a fielder's choice.
Again, that run out at second base would be a big one to get home.
Well, here's the guy you want up, Brady Boyer, 3 for 3. He's got 2 singles and a double, so let's move it to a triple. There's a breaking ball low and away. I asked the last time, I'll ask again.
He's got 15 RBIs, so he's a good man to have up there.
Here's the pitch, and that one's ball outside, 2-0. So he's going to be able to sit on one. He can be picky. Center fielder a little bit deeper than what they've been playing, I think.
Looks like it, yeah. He's definitely a little deeper.
And there's a good hard hit to the shortstop. They're going to be able to flip to second. And that's the third out of the inning, but not before the Dragons are able to pick up 2 runs off a 2 RBI double by Dalton Giesler. So the Dragons, let's see here, 1, 2 hits. Do I have it? Because I got a. You got 2 hits on that inning?
2 hits,
1 walk.
3 hits, sorry.
Oh, 1 walk, 3 hits.
Henson singled,
2
Morgan
runs.
singled, and Dalton's double.
Okay.
Gonna walk the Lavender.
And no errors.
Lomadier goes back out to the mound, so it's his game to win or lose.
So the Dragons through 7 have 3 walks, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 hits. You wouldn't know it by only scoring 2 runs there in the 7th, but 10 total hits, 2 runs, and the Knights have committed no errors. All right.
Have we got the leadoff man at all tonight?
We have not. You keep saying it. It hasn't happened.
We're going to do it right here.
That's what I like to hear.
Leading off
Some
for the
positivity
third baseman,
from
number
Coach Trump.
44, Gunnar LeBron.
All right, we head to the bottom of the 7th again because the Knights are the home team. They get the last chance here. The Dragons lead 2-0. In steps Labrat. Labrat has walked and grounded out.
Now, Lomadier, on the other hand, looks like he's still bringing it pretty good.
Yeah, he sure is. And he's pumped. There's a strike, 1-1 the count.
He might be feeling it.
After that, getting some runs there, he was one of those guys that he got out at third, but he was part of that
Rally.
7th inning. Yep. He's just got to make sure he throws strikes. Is that Brewster again warming up?
Yep.
And there's a ground ball. That's going to squeak by Staffen. So the Knights again get the leadoff batter on here in the 7th. And who do we have? We have Westbrook coming to bat, number 13. Westbrook struck out, and there was an error on Kemper. He reached on last time. That was a nice play that Kemper made on that kind of sliding, diving backhand, but just didn't quite make the throw.
Number 18, courtesy runner for Farmington.
18 is Herzog, so he will run for Labrat. Labrat could re-enter if need be, but hopefully doesn't need be because we win. And that's a ball outside.
Wyatt looks like he's bringing the ball pretty good. Got a ground ball from the leadoff guy, just found a hole.
There's a ball on the turf. Giesler not able to get that one.
Yeah, that guy don't mean a lot. You got to get the batter.
Yep.
Got to come back here, get back in the count.
2-0. And the pitch, ball high. I think why it doesn't get this out, I think we'll see Brewster coming in.
I would think it'd be pretty close.
You know, he's definitely into 100 pitches, because there's 4 and then a couple against, so he's at 98 maybe. 3-1 the count. Checks the runner at second, comes home, ball 4 high. That'll put the tying run down at first, so leadoff hit, now a walk. McDaniel's going to come out and talk. I would guess I'd see a pitching change.
And we got another pinch runner, 22 in the game for Farmington.
That's Hastings. He was a pinch hitter last time. Well, how's that work? Didn't he? Oh, no, he pinch ran.
So he's
Yorty pinch hit.
He's a courtesy runner.
Yeah, he's a courtesy runner. In comes Brewster. It looks like Camden Rowe will come out of the game in the field. Wyatt Lomiter will go to center. Brady Boyer will move over to right field. And Jake Brewster is again coming in to pitch. So we'll just have a sub Brewster in for Rowe as far as which Rowe is not batting, so. Got the outfielders having a little conversation out there. Infielders behind Brewster watching him warm up. The Knights got their runners and coaches talking.
Brewster does have a save on the year. He's pitched 15 in the 3rd inning. ERA of 6.39 and a whip of 2.6. That's not real good. He's walked 13 and struck out 14, so walks have been a problem. Got to come in here to throw strikes. Let your defense help you.
Yeah, I think Brewster's improved as a season. You know, he had a knee injury. Wasn't sure if or leg injury, and wasn't sure if he's even going to get to play at all. And they really don't put him in the field or like to have him run much, but they do allow him to pitch. And I do think, again, he's been improving as the more times he's been on the mound.
Well, this is probably his biggest inning of the year, I would say.
In steps Palmer. Palmer is struck out and grounded to first. So again, we got runners at first and second. We're going to look for a bunt again. And there's ball 1 outside. So the Dragons were
be careful.
Charging the first and third baseman charging.
Had the wheel play on.
Yeah. Staffing, though, there was nobody going to cover first. So if he'd get that bunt down and they weren't able to go to third.
They'd have some real problems.
Yeah, they'd have. Again, there's strike 1. He hasn't really showed that he's going to bunt.
Nope, I think maybe he was taken until he throws a strike. New pitcher. Now we'll see if they're going to do anything with it. I got to believe they got to get somebody to cover first base.
And now he shows the bunt. Vaith does go back. They're just going to get the runner out first, so they get 1 out. The runners do advance, so a sack bunt for Palmer to move the runners over.
Again, the runner at third doesn't mean anything.
In steps Bader. Bader has got a single and a ground out to short. So we definitely need to get an out here. I mean, they're in on the grass.
I'm not sure I'd do that.
You know, I think I would definitely leave Vaith back, at least, you know, maybe close a little bit. But, you know, you got it, like you said, the runner at third doesn't matter. You got to get outs, and, you know, the runner at second's the one that matters. I know you don't want him to advance, but you're definitely going to get an out of this. As there's a strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
Anytime you bring that infield in, it gives a little bit of an advantage to the hitter as far as the room he's got to get hits in.
And there's a pop, fly over our head, out of play. So now it's 1-2. Vaith,
he's like moved Vaith back.
Yep.
Looks like they've all taken a step or two back.
A little bit. Staffin's still on the edge.
Yep.
There's a breaking ball. There's to Staffen. He's going to look the runner. Good play. So it works. He's able to be close enough to look the runner back and get the out at first.
Shows you what I know.
Yeah, that's why we get paid to sit up here and talk.
That's why I'm retired.
Oh, we paid. You get paid?
Andre Castro.
Yeah, I got a check last week.
Oh, you did?
You don't?
Ah.
Huh.
All right, so we got 2 outs here. Runners at second and third. Infield now is back. Looks like the.
Again, don't worry about the base runners. Just get this hitter. That's a nice curveball Brewster threw.
Castro has walked, singled, and grounded to short. 0 for 2.
1 for 2.
Oh,
Didn't you-
1 for 2.
Didn't you say
Sorry,
single?
Yeah, well, yeah. Thank you. Good
Clayton's
pass.
fault.
Oh, man. I don't know if you can see that at home, but that looked like a strike.
Hasn't called it all night, though.
That was a break. I mean, that was
It was a good
pretty.
pitch.
Fooled him. There's one for strike one. 1-1 the count.
Brewster looking for a second save. This would be a huge one.
Yep. Infield's back, ready to make a play. Gets him to chase. Got him on it. Yep, umpire calls it. He chased that one. Couldn't hold up enough. And that is strike 2. 1-2 the count. The crowd's getting loud.
If he can get this batter out, he'll be available again tomorrow. Hasn't thrown many pitches.
And there's a pitch high. Didn't get him to chase.
Brought some heat there.
Ball 2-2. Right field looked deep. They're going to make sure nothing gets over their head. Left field a little short maybe compared to the other two, but there's a ball outside. Can hear Gibson in there yelling yes, trying to get that call.
Yeah.
He was yelled at before it crossed.
Right fielder might be a little deep.
Yeah.
That guy's at second's going to score on a base hit.
There's a
That
drive
should
to
be the
left
game.
field. Derek Morgenthaler underneath it. 2-hand catch, and
There you
that's it.
go.
The Dragons win.
Both
Nice
games tonight
job. Yep.
went 2-0.
That's
Valley,
right.
2-0 St. Jan. So they'll face each other in the finals tomorrow night.
Nice job by the Dragons to just battle all game.
Yep.
The pitchers, Wyatt Lometer, and then Jake Brewster here coming in a tough situation. Again, not greatest pitching as far as getting the leadoff batters out, but definitely battled through and pitched a well game.
Yes, he did. I mean, he was in and out of trouble all night, but he just kept battling, competing, made pitches when he had to. And then Brewster came in a tough situation and shut the door on him. He really, even the last ball was, a pop fly. And you got to hand it to the Dragons. They really put a good game together.
So the Knights go through 7 innings. They had 4 walks, 6 hits, no runs, and the Dragons did commit, I think, 1 error. I have 1 error for them. And again, the Dragons had 3 walks on the night. They had 10 hits. Didn't really seem to show it as far as the score goes, only scoring 2 runs, but just couldn't piece them together. And the Knights did not score any or have any errors on the night.
Difference in the game was we got 1 big hit. And Farmington just couldn't get a big hit.
That is correct.
They had plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, everybody had runners on base, and like I said, that big hit from Dalton Giesler drove that one down the left field line. Definitely made the difference.
Yep.
And, Wyatt Lometer tried to get through 7 innings pitching. That pitch count just got up there, but, I was impressed with the way he battled too.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing you mentioned, he was still throwing heat there in the 7th.
Yep.
Or Busenbark, on the other hand, you could just tell he was out of the gas.
He was out of gas, and you get in tournaments like this where you play so many games a week, it's just hard to know what to do with your pitchers, because now you got to be thinking, well, we've got 7 more innings. Somebody's got to get pitched tomorrow for a championship game, and that's should be an exciting one. Crosstown rivals in the championship game.
I would guess as a coach, when it comes to pitching, you got to win the first ones. Because if you don't win to get to a championship game, it doesn't matter. So if you run out of pitching and you get there, you know, you've done what you can. I guess the good thing is if Monday you didn't, you know, if they played Monday, maybe they didn't pitch a lot. Some of those guys can, you know, pitch again tomorrow. You know, what's that, 4 days rest, 4 going on 5 days rest.
Right.
So I don't know who pitched over Kingston or how many pitches they had, but maybe that's something that they can use if they need to. So if you're Coach McDaniel, what's your words of wisdom to the guys out here now?
Go home, eat right, get a good night's rest, and be ready to go tomorrow.
I know they'll be excited. I think the high school is putting on the lip dub. I don't know if you know what that is, but lip dub, where there's music playing, they lip sing, and you know they have all the clubs and all the sports and things like that represented. You know, so they go through the halls, and you know the basketball team will be wearing their jerseys, and they'll go around, and they'll, you know, the football team, volleyball, and clubs, and all kinds of things. So it's just kind of a school spirit thing. You know. So you know, I'll be excited for the baseball guys coming off this win and being able to do that tomorrow, a school spirit thing, and being able to play, like I said, crosstown rival in a championship of the conference tournament.
Yep.
Be neat for those guys.
And I think the weather forecast is almost identical, maybe a little warmer tomorrow. So
I just wish I knew what the Blues were doing right now.
Well, you probably do.
Yep. Well, I won't ruin it for you, Drum. But if you're at home now, you get to see us.
I appreciate it.
The people behind the voices.
There you go.
It's like getting your picture taken, isn't it?
You know, I try not to do that any more often than I have to.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see Coach McDaniel. It'd be nice to get him up after this game. And I'm not so sure I've talked to him probably after such a big game like this. So it'd be nice to hear from him, and you know, don't have to worry about the JV playing next. So yeah. So Drum, I don't know if you got plans to get out of here, or maybe we'll take a break, and then hopefully he'll come up and see us. And
all right.
I appreciate you coming up and helping me out and giving some good banter.
As always,
good knowledge.
I can't say no to Russ unless I really
it's
have
hard
something
to do.
going on.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. Great game, and good luck to the Dragons tomorrow.
All right, thank you. So we will take a break. If you want to stick around and listen and wait till we come back, hopefully he'll run up here. I know he's got like 3 other radio stations to get to, so it may be a little bit, but I think it'd definitely be nice to talk to him, or maybe we can get Coach Gibson up here, somebody to just kind of talk about the game. So stick around, and we shall return. All right, we're actually going to get maybe Coach Schwint up here. Coach Gibson's got about 3 other radio stations to go to, so we are going to speak with Coach Schwint, and it'd be nice to get a little word from somebody different other than Coach McDaniel. Coach Schwint, how we doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Not much better than that ball game.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's you know, they're a little – it really wasn't slow because I know there wasn't a lot of scoring, but definitely you had runners on base. We had runners on base. They had runners on base all game long.
Very tension-filled ball game. Every inning it seemed like.
So from the dugout, you know, one thing, what'd you think about the dugout? Because it was something that I mentioned up here is this game, as you've seen in the the past. And I haven't been to every game. We haven't broadcasted every game. But, what's the difference between tonight and the dugout or just from the players in general?
I think the biggest difference between these all week actually is that we've had a tendency to walk a lot of guys. So not only does that put our defense to sleep, our dugout kind of just gets ugh. When we're playing great defense and not doing that every inning, our dugouts has some life in it, and we turn a double play, then we come in and get the bats rattled, or we try to. So that's the biggest difference, I think.
And that's exactly – I mean, you could hear them. And usually, with them being down low, I think a little bit maybe we don't hear everything. Maybe it's all projected out. But you could definitely hear them tonight.
Tonight was as loud as we've got, that's for sure. And you could tell it was affecting the pitcher. He stepped off I don't know how many times that last inning. So it definitely did something for us.
Well, you know from playing and just being around it, when you got that adrenaline going and the people are talking, it really does raise your level of play just a little more aware, and so that's nice to hear. And I'm sure you're down in there and you get to be part of that. Maybe even you're the guy that gets them going. So
yeah, I try to every once in a while. I was kind of that guy whenever I was playing, so I always had fun doing it and getting in the guys. I expected when we came out for them to be just as loud or louder, but they didn't really do that. So.
Yeah, I was never that guy. I was the quiet guy. Didn't say a whole lot, but definitely is needed. And so, what do you think of Wyatt Lomadier as pitching tonight?
That was one of his better outings. I don't know. The first time we played Farmington, he might have had even better outing, but man, he had the defense behind him. He made outs when he needed them and got the pitches to get out of stuff, and can't ask much more than that.
Yeah, he had 4 walks, which I think is really good. I mean, that's kind of been an issue a little bit, especially at the beginning of the season is the walks that, really the whole team, but Wyatt's had trouble with. And only 4 walks and kind of spread out throughout the game, 6 hits and no runs. And like you said, he battled. I mean, how many times? The leadoff batter actually got on every inning they got on. And then was that the 6th inning that actually it was a double off the leadoff.
Yep.
And that was really tough. But like I said, defense made plays. Daniel Vaith and Kemper, even though it didn't get the out over there, that sliding backhand
that was a heck of a play. I actually thought Daniel picked it up in time. I don't know if the other guy didn't see it or not, but it looked to me, I was right there. It looked like he had it. But
is that what Coach McDaniel went out and talked about?
Yeah, that's what he talked to, and I don't know if the ump saw it at all. He kind of shook his head. I was like, oh, he did see it, but I guess not.
Well, a lot of times they're not going to change their call, after that. So
you kind of don't want to overrule the other guy at times. But, man, our strength definitely is our defense. If our pitchers can get guys to hit the ball and get it to those guys, we can win a lot of ball games. Just we haven't done that earlier on in the season, and we're finally doing it this week. And you see how good we can be.
Yeah. Now, is Jake Brewster that's his 2nd save of the season? Is he kind of fell into a role of kind of being that late inning guy?
I think he just has guts. Like he's not scared of anything. And that. Henson's also came in and done a good job relieving for us, but you like to have him at short. So I think Jake's always ready for that moment.
Well, I haven't seen Jake start yet this season. He might have on a game I wasn't at, but it just seems like that maybe that's, I know in the pros you have your starters, you have your setup, and you have your closer, and maybe he's a guy that, is going to look, I wouldn't call him a closer, but a guy that's going to come in the late innings when you need big pitches.
Yep, and he's a guy who we don't have to change our defense to accommodate for. You might have to pull Daniel out or Henson out or somebody like that, but with him it's rotate the guy in and get going, and our defense doesn't change much. They stay in the same gear. So.
And what about Dalton Giesler? I know that Brady Boyer, let's talk about him first. Boyer was 3 for 3, might have, I don't know what the last, I guess he didn't hit again, but I've got him 3 for 3 on the night. I don't know if he batted a 4th time, but, he's, is this something that you guys seen just coming in? I mean, he's a freshman.
He was hot earlier on. We had him lower in the lineup. Then we switched up our lineup last week. We kind of got him up, and that first game he did all right, and then he's kind of been in a little slump. I don't know if he's felt the pressure just because it seemed like in that 5 spot guys were there, and he felt like he had to do so much. And when he was younger, he was actually the leadoff guy. So putting him lower in the order, that leadoff spot actually comes up quite a few times, and he calmed down. I don't know if he went 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 on Tuesday, but look at that. that's coming back from it.
Well, you talked about the whole shift in the lineup. Is there? I haven't really talked to McDaniel. Is there a reason why we kind of had all these? Staffen was up there, Lomiter leading off, and now.
Yeah. Well, Grant was struggling a little bit with the bat, and I don't know if he was seeing too many off-speed pitches or what it was. But Derek had the highest average, and he always hit to contact. And then Wyatt, you saw it. He has a lot of pop. So in that 3 spot, and Kemper's been getting his average up, and he can handle the bat and bunt like he did tonight. So it's worked out.
It's a little more, as far as when you look at the players, it's not necessarily your typical, especially Derek at the leadoff spot.
Right.
You don't have the speed of guy who can get on, steal a base or whatever.
Right.
But I definitely think that it's worked, and you guys got the guys in the right spot.
Yep.
You mentioned Brady, being, I don't know what his on-base percentage is or, his ability, because he does have speed to get on base, maybe steal a base. But again, that, a lot of that shifting, but I think it's definitely been a good move. And Dalton Giesler, he stayed around this, I think, 3 to 4 spots, and he comes up with a big, 2 RBI double in the 7th inning.
Yeah, and there's nothing you love more than an intentional walk, and then the next guy roping one. It's like, gosh.
Well, you got White Lomiter, so if you're the Knights, you're thinking, okay, and you put him on first base, and then you have the chance for the double play. But Giesler, in my mind, just knowing him, as a he probably doesn't realize the situation that he was in. He's a kid that's just like, it doesn't matter.
Just do it.
Yeah.
That's how he is. He's pretty
goofy and
that's all he ever is, and he's not too tense about anything. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
It can
Tonight he wasn't scared of the moment. So
you guys haven't had to yell at him in practice about goofing off too much.
No.
You can tell me the truth. I had to do it in basketball. So.
And with this team, with basketball, you had Morgan and you had Nate, and you had those seniors who probably wanted to squash that on the baseball field, especially this season. Dalton does have to take a leadership role more, and I think he knows when to dial it back a little bit, and tell guys what they need to be told. So.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
So tomorrow, don't have to say much. Crosstown rival. Obviously, everybody knows, what we did to them, or what they, I guess did to us. But again, you can kind of throw all that out the window. They had a 2-0 game here against Park Hills. I wasn't able to see it, but it just shows that they're not always going to be that team to go out and just beat everybody really bad. So I'm sure the kids are excited about that.
Yeah, and that 9-0. I'm not saying they didn't earn any of that. They beat us 9-0, but I don't know if it was the typical 9-0 ball game.
Yeah.
We got behind early that game, and I know all our boys are excited for it. So
yeah, got the lip dub coming tomorrow at school.
Yeah. So they'll be loose, that's for sure, and that's something. Last week we hit most of the time before ball games in the morning, and they came in to hit, and I just played a scrimmage game in the cage because it's like I know how tense you can get for playing blue all day. So it might help out being a little more loose throughout the day and not thinking about it all day.
Well, it'll sure be exciting, and I appreciate you coming up and talk to us. We're going to let you get home so we can get home and have a good Friday at school, and hopefully tomorrow we see the Dragons on top again.
I hope so.
All right, thank you, Coach Schwint.
Yep.
All right, so again, that's Coach Schwint. We appreciate him coming up, and the Dragons take this one 2-0 against the Farmington Knights. Again, they will play tomorrow. We have a time, 6:30-ish, we probably think. Tomorrow night, championship game of the MAAA Conference Tournament. It'll be the St. John Dragons versus the Valley Catholic Warriors. So somewhere between 6:30 and 7. So if you can't make it out to the game, which we really hope you do, come out and support the Dragons. And I'm sure, again, it'll be a big crowd. We'll have a nice night up to 80 degrees. And if not, if you can't make it, please listen to us, and hopefully we can bring you a good broadcast. Not sure who we'll have tomorrow, but I guess Toom says me and whoever else can stand to sit next to me for a couple hours. So, again, thanks for everybody watching. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.